Hi students, today's class we are going to discuss about process control block. The topic comes under process management. So what is process control block? Each process is represented in the operating system by a process control block. In short form, we can say it as a PCB. It is also called a task control block. So we have seen what do you mean by process, what is the process, what are all the process states. So each process is represented here by means of process control block. So we are running n number of process in the computer system, right? So in our computer we are running so many process is executing with the help of the CPU. So how the OS will manage each and every process? So it needs some ID. Like in our class, each and every student will have a unique ID. Like name, it may be name or register number. By using the register number, we can analyze the particular analysis, right? So similar that each and every process which are all executing in the computer, so the OS has to manage the process for simplicity. So the operating system will create a process control block. So inside the process control block, it will have all the details of the process. So the whole process details which are all held by the process control block. Otherwise we can say it as a task control block. Okay. So inside the process control block, we will have some categories. We will have some details of the process. So the first detail is process state, second one is process number, third program counter, next registers, memory limits, list of open files, etc. So these are the details of process which will hold in the process control block. So every process will have a PCB. Each and every process will have a PCB. So by using the PCB, the OS will manage. Okay. So let me explain each and every field. Okay. What do you mean by process state? As we discussed earlier, so process states, there are so many process states we have learned. Process state, new state, ready state, running state, waiting state, terminate state. So when the process is going to execute with the help of the CPU, it must come across all those states, from new state to ready state to running state. It may be a waiting state, and after that it may be finally going to be terminate state. So the process state which tells us currently now the process is under in which state. It tells us the user currently the process run in which state. It may be a new state or create state or running state or waiting state. If I want to, if as a user I need to have details about the process states, it tell me process state which give me the details about currently now the process under in which state. Okay, this is the first one. And process ID. So process ID, as I told earlier, each and every process will have a id number, like id number, like your register number. To identify the process, the OS will create a process id for every process, for every file, for every program. They will assign one particular number, that is a process id. The third one is program counter. So program counter represents, it will holds the next address of the line, next address of the instruction line. Next address of the instruction line means so program, here the program is under an execution, you can call it as a process, right? So program is nothing but a set of instructions. So each and every line is going to executed by the CPU. So here the role of the program counter is, while executing the program, each and every line of instructions going to execute. So program counter will take the address of the next line of the instruction, address of the next line of the instruction. It will hold the address of the next line of the instruction. Okay, the next one is CPU register. What do you mean by register? Register is also one of the memory, right? Okay, so here the process is using many types of registers. It may be a index register or general purpose register or stack registers. So here the CPU registers will give the details. So which register is using by the process, so which register going to use by the process, it will give the details about the what type of register now the process is using. It will give the details about the what type of registers it is using. Okay, so next one is CPU scheduling. What do you mean by CPU scheduling? Each and every process is going to execute. Second, CPU scheduling determines which process going to allocate to the CPU. So there are n number of processes we are working in our computer system. So here the OS will allocate the scheduler, or OS or scheduler. The scheduler will allocate which type of process going to allocate first to the CPU. It may be choose some priority, low priority or high priority, or maybe the process or process file size. Depending upon the file size, some of the process will have a file size maybe 5 MB, some file maybe have a 2 MB. So depending upon the file size, the scheduler may allocate the process to the CPU, or depending upon the priority arrival time, at what time the first process came to the CPU. So depending upon the arrival time or depending upon the file size, the scheduler will allocate the process to the CPU. So scheduling is nothing but allocating the process to the CPU for execution. So this is a very, very important topic we will discuss in the next class, CPU scheduling algorithm, right? So the next one is memory management. So memory, how long the process is used in the memory. So it tells about the size of the process. And finally, accounting information. What do you mean by accounting information? So accounting information determines what are all the resources used by the process. Resources nothing but CPU, memory. So all these details given by the accounting information. For example, if I am working in Excel file, how much memory the Excel will occupied, what is the memory size, how long it will execute in the CPU. Okay, that is a burst time. So these details are will calculate under the accounting informations. So then finally IO status, input output status. Input output status, which are input output status used by the process. Okay, so these all the states are giving the information about the process. So this is the process control block. So the process control block is nothing but it will give the details about the process. So every process will have a PCB. Process 1 will have a PCB separately. Process 2 will have a PCB separately. So each and every process, similar like a student, each and every student will have a analysis reports separately, because each and every student will be a unique, right? So similarly in our system we are opening many files. Each and every file, each and every job is a process, single process. We can rename it as a process 1, process 2, process 3, process 3. N number of process we are creating and executing in the CPU. Each and every process will have a process control block. By accessing the process control block, we can have the whole details of the process, about process ID, what is the process state, what is the program counter, what type of register they are using in the process, what type of scheduling they are using, how much memory the process is occupying. So these details we can access with the help of process control block, right? Hope you understand this topic, process control block. So next class we can learn about CPU scheduling algorithms. This is a very important topic, CPU scheduling algorithm. We can discuss in the next class. Thank you.